New York Mets baseball on WIZR, brought to you by the Shepherd Oil Company. Dial 762-7812. That's Shepherd Oil Company, 762-7812.
All right, Lindsey Nelson for the Cincinnati Reds. Pete Rose will lead off. He'll be playing left. Batting second, playing second base, Joe Morgan. Batting third, the center fielder, Bobby Tolan. Batting fourth and catching, Johnny Bench. Batting fifth, playing first base, Tony Perez. Batting sixth, playing right field, Joe Haig. Batting seventh, playing third base, Julian Javier. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Dave Concepcion. And the pitcher, Jim McLaughlin, batting ninth. For the Mets, Bud Harrelson will lead off. He'll be at shortstop. Batting second, playing third base, Jim Fregosi. Batting third, playing center field, Tommy Agee. Batting fourth and playing right field, Rusty Staub. Batting fifth, left fielder, John Milner. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Cleon Jones. Batting seventh, playing second base, Wayne Garrett. Batting eighth and catching, Jerry Grote. The pitcher, Gary Gentry, batting ninth. Mets on this homestand have won 4 of the 6 games they've played. They have a record of 32-13. 4 games up in Pittsburgh. That's the best percentage record in the major leagues. Mets playing at 7-11 percentage. Oakland in the Western Division of the American League with a 30-13 record and a 6.98 percentage. Game number 46, the middle game of this 3-game set tomorrow afternoon. It will be Senior Citizens Day at the ballpark. Senior citizens 60 years of age and over admitted to the ballpark for a 50-cent service charge. Game time will be at 2 o'clock, and Tom Seaver is pitching for the Mets. His record stands at 8-2. He'll be trying to be the first 9-game winner in the National League. He'll be opposed by Ross Grimsley, who has a record of 2-1. So the final game tomorrow, an afternoon ball game, and the feature, Tom Seaver in the mound. Now, a new process going on here at Shea Stadium. The Mets are being introduced individually, and they will be taking their positions as they come out in single foul. John Milner to left field, Tommy Agee to center, Rusty Staub to right. This practice is not a new practice in baseball. It was first instituted by the Cincinnati Reds, and later on in Philadelphia they adopted the practice. In fact, last year, Philadelphia, the new ballpark, used that method, and in last night's ball game, in an effort to break their losing streak, they introduced their ball players backwards. But it was to no avail as Philadelphia lost by a score of 4-3 in their ball game with the Houston Astros. So the Mets introduced on the field individually for the first time. The umpires are taking their stations. Ed Barger will be the umpire behind home plate. Paul Pryor, the umpire at first base. Harry Wendelstedt will be the umpire at second. And Bruce Froemming will be calling the plays at third base. A beautiful night for baseball. We have seats available. If you're around the area, come on out and join us. Right now, our national anthem. National anthem, and now here's one of your favorite Mets.
I'm Jerry Kuzman of the Mets. This broadcast comes to you through the courtesy of solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets is prohibited.
Well, after this series with the Cincinnati Reds, which will conclude tomorrow afternoon with Seaver pitching against Ross Grimsley, the Houston Astros will be making their first appearance against the Mets at Shea Stadium. It'll be Houston Friday night, then on Saturday afternoon, and a single game on Sunday. And that will close out the homestand. So in this homestand, the Mets taking on Philadelphia, Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Houston, a 12-game homestand on the original schedule. One of those games rained out. The Houston Astros, a hot ball club, they are tied for second in the Western Division with Cincinnati, 1.5 games back of the Dodgers, and they'll be in here over the next weekend. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday. Make your plans to come on out and enjoy baseball at its finest. And right here, for the play-by-play as this game gets underway, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph Connon. Hello again, everybody. Switch hitting Pete Rose up to lead off. Batting left-handed against Gentry. Rose is hitting .255 with 12 runs batted in. Gentry with a record of 3 wins, 3 losses, earned run average of 2.91. He's walked 45, walked 28, and struck out 45. So far, here's his first pitch of the night, and it is low for a ball. Ed Vargo, who is the crew chief of this umpiring quartet, is behind the plate. Jerry Grote is the Met catcher, and here's the 1-0 delivery. It's in for a called strike, 1-1. The Mets have Cleon Jones at first, Wayne Garrett at second, Bud Harrelson at shortstop, Jim Fregosi at third. John Milner in left, Tommy Agee in center, Rusty Staub in right. Here's 1-1. And it's blown away for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. On the coaching lines, Alex Grammas at third for Cincinnati, and George Scherger is the coach at first base. Larry Shepard is the pitching coach. Ted Glazewski on the coaching staff. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Foul back and out of play. It's 2-2. Joe Morgan is on deck. Second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Mets of the Eastern Division and the Cincinnati Reds of the Western Division of the National League. The president of the National League, Chub Feeney, is on hand here tonight at Shea. Gary Gentry now into the motion, and here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck out to the road. So there's one away, and Joe Morgan's coming up now. Hitting .269, he has 7 homers and 21 runs batted in. He's a left-hand batter, came to the Cincinnati Reds from the Houston Astros. The Mets have won 32 and lost 13. The Reds have won 27 and lost 19. Now the pitch, and it's high for a ball. Yesterday and last night, the Mets beat the Cincinnati Reds 3-2. Houston beat the Phillies by a score of 4-3. The Phils tried every way in the world to break that losing streak, but couldn't quite make it. Here's a 1-0 pitch. It is high and away. The Atlanta Braves beat Montreal 3-2. The Los Angeles Dodgers shut out the Cubs last night 5-0. The St. Louis Cardinals beat the Giants 5-3. One man out here, nobody on base, and the 2-0 pitch to Joe Morgan. It's high and away, 3-0, and Bobby Tolan's on deck. Down in Philadelphia last night, they tried to do everything they could a different way to break that slump. They introduced the starting lineup from the bottom up. They saluted groups who were not present. Here's a 3-0 pitch. High, it's a walk on 4 pitches. So Morgan goes to first. One man out, Bobby Tolan's the batter. Hitting .316, he has 4 homers, 28 runs batted in. They had the ushers at the stadium in Philadelphia last night wear their caps backwards. Played Goodnight Ladies before the ball game. And lost by a run. Here's a pitch, foul back and out of play. It's strike 1 to Tolan, and Johnny Bench is on deck. Tolan missed last year with a severed Achilles tendon. Gentry sets up and checks. Here's a pitch. Curveball hit foul off the ankle of Tolan. Rolls on out toward the mound. It's a 2-strike count to him. Gentry has no record against the Reds this season. His lifetime against them is 2 wins and 4 losses. Gentry has victories over San Diego, San Francisco, and Montreal. The last 2 complete games. He has lost to Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Atlanta. Losses to the Cardinals and Braves were in his last 2 starts. Gentry's last victory was 12-2 over Montreal here at Shea on May 17th. Here is the 2-strike pitch. And it's laced down the left field line if it's fair, and it is a fair ball. It'll go extra bases. Morgan is at third. He's being held up. Tolan's at second. Held up there, a double. So with runners at second and third, there's only one man out, and Johnny Bench is coming up. Well, that ball was hit where it was pitched. It was outside, so Tolan just popped it down the left field line from his left-hand batting stance. Was fair by inches and went for 2 bases. So now Johnny Bench is up. Hitting .297, 14 home runs, tied with Dave Kingman of the San Francisco Giants for the home run lead in the major leagues. He has batted in 37 runs. He had a home run here last night. His 8th in 7 games. Johnny Bench, red hot, first base open. And he's followed by Tony Parrott. They're going to put him on an intentional walk here in the first inning. Johnny Bench is being intentionally walked in the the first inning. Now, that is not done solely for the purpose of bypassing Johnny Bench. It is also for the purpose of setting up a double play possibility by creating a force all around. So Bench goes to first, and now they're loaded up with one man out, and Tony Perez is coming up. Perez is hitting .276. He's got 7 homers and 25 runs batted in. He's a right-hand batter. The Mets set Garrett at second and Harrelson at short. Back at double play depth. Fregosi retreats now at third. Jones behind the runner at first. One man out as the Reds threaten here in the top half of the first inning. Gentry will have to work straight away. He does. He gets the sign as Morgan bluffs at third. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed at strike one. Joe Haig is on deck. The only thing for Gentry now to do is just bear down and do the best he can. The bases are loaded and one man out, so there's no finessing to be done here. It's just strength against strength. He's into the motion again. The pitch to Perez is high, so it's a ball. It's a fastball, 1-1. Again, runners lead at first, second, and third. The wind is ripping the flag out toward right field here tonight. Here's a swing and a miss. It's strike 2 to Perez. Gary Gentry bearing down. Pittsburgh Pirates have been rained out for 2 consecutive nights in San Diego, and would you believe that the report from San Diego says that it is raining again? The game hasn't been postponed or anything like that for tonight, but the weather report is that it's raining again in San Diego. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Foul back and out of play. The count holds at 1-2 to Perez. Taking a moment before stepping up onto the rubber again. Joe Morgan's the runner at third. Bobby Tolan at second. Johnny Bench is at first. This then is the 1-2 delivery. Swung on and fouled off over into the dugout of the Cincinnati Reds. Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Big Red Machine. His first season, 1970, he brought them home ahead of the field in the West. Then beat the Pittsburgh Pirates in the championship series for the National League pennant and lost to the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series. The Brooks Robinson World Series, they call that one. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Now to Perez. Fastball spotted outside. It just missed, and it's 2-2. Kneeling on deck. He's a left-hand batter. Gentry takes the sign from Jerry Grody. Runners lead all around, and here's the 2-2 on the way. Swung on, fouled off to the right side and out of play, and the count holds at 2-2. Paul Pryor is the umpire at first. Harry Wendelstedt is stationed at second, and Bruce Fromming is the umpire on at third. This is a 2-2 pitch. Curveball, and it's laced down the left field line if it's fair, but it's a foul ball. Forget the breaking pitch. It was a high breaking pitch, and he laced it down the left field line, but pulled it foul by a foot or so way down to the corner. So runners return, and Perez comes back to the plate with the count holding at 2-2. Gentry goes to the rosin bag again. Perez is back in and waiting. Gentry looks over at Morgan, leading down the line from third. Morgan way over into foul territory. There are 2/3 about where that runner should be. Here's 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to deep center and curving away from Agee. It's going to be way back there. And one hop to the wall. One runner scores, two runners score. There's a throw to the plate, 3-run score. Holding at second with a double and 3 runs batted in is Perez. Hit that ball a long way into right center field. It was slicing away from Agee trying to catch up. He never could get to it. He took one hop, went to the wall, and Johnny Bench had long since decided there was no way for Agee to get there, so he was right on the heels of Bobby Tolan. Morgan, of course, had held up. He could afford to. He was the runner at third, so the 3 runners crossed the plate in tandem. 1, 2, 3, and the Reds are out front. Joe Haig is the batter now, still only 1 man out. Pitch to Haig, and it's low for a ball. Haig's hitting .243, 5 homers, and 18 runs batted in. Came to the Cincinnati Reds from the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for Bernie Carbo. Gentry checks and deals. Here's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play. It's 1-1 now to Joe Haig. And Julian Javier moves up on deck. The Cincinnati Reds have jumped out to a big 3-run lead here in the top half of the first inning. Gentry sends out the sign. There's action in the Met bullpen. Here's a curveball popped up to second base. Garrett retreats to the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. 2 away, Perez holds at second, and Javier is coming up. Left-hander Ray Sadecki is throwing in the Met bullpen. Ray Sadecki. Javier is hitting .271. He has 2 homers and 9 runs batted in. Traded from the St. Louis Cardinals to Cincinnati in exchange for pitcher Tony Cloninger. Foul ball off and out of play. In 1964, the entire St. Louis Cardinal infield started for the National League in the All-Star game, including Javier. Javier was not voted to the starting lineup. Bill Mazeroski of the Pirates was, but Mazeroski was injured, could not play, and Javier started in place of him. So that meant Bill White, Julian Javier, Dick Grote, and Ken Boyer. The infield for the Cardinals started for the National League. That pitch is low and away. It's 1-1. 2 men out, 3 runs in. Dave Concepcion is on deck. Here's a slow curveball that's high, and it's 2-1. Gentry looks back at the rubber as he hung a spike on the follow-through. Now he's doing a little groundskeeping out there as well. It's been a tough inning for Gentry. He opened up by striking out Pete Rose, and then on 4 pitches he walked Joe Morgan. Bobby Tolan punched a little double to left, and then Johnny Bench was intentionally walked. Tony Perez ripped a 2-2 pitch out to right center field for 2 bases and 3 runs. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Javier taking the cut. Now 2-2. Outside, and the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gentry extends the pitching arm, kicks at the rubber a time or 2. Perez is the runner at second base. Three-2 pitch. Low, he walked him. Third walk in this inning by Gentry, and here comes pitching coach Rube Walker slowly out of the dugout and on the way to the mound to talk to young Gary Gentry. Dave Concepcion, the number 8 man in the order, will be coming up. Concepcion's hitting .224. He has 1 homer and 18 runs batted in. Ray Sadecki continues to throw out there in the Met bullpen. Gentry has the cap off, mopping his brow as Walker talks to him. Walker has a great sense of humor. Very jolly fellow to be around. He was saying just the other day that on those trips out to the mound, there is very little, if any, levity on any occasion because his trips out there are usually for a very serious purpose. Not much funny happens out there at a time like that. Concepcion's in and waiting now as Walker has returned to the dugout. Gentry sets up, checks runners at first and second. This pitch is a fastball down the pipe for a call, strike one. The Reds 3, the Mets nothing in the top half of the first inning. Now again, Gentry sets up. And that pitch is outside. It's 1-1. This will be a 1-1 delivery. Swung on, foul back. It's out of play, and the count's 1-2 now to the Cincinnati shortstop. Here's the runner at second, and Julian Javier, the runner at first. A 1-2 pitch. Swung on it in the air down the right field line. Rusty Staub racing over. It's out of play as it goes into the seats. So Perez returns to second. Javier to first. 1-2 the count to Concepcion. The Reds are leading by a score of 3-0. Gentry offers 1-2 to the right-hand batter. Swung on, foul back. It's out of play. So the count continues at 1-2 strikes. Dave Concepcion with pitcher Jim McLaughlin kneeling there on deck. Now the 1-2 delivery. Curveball, a little high. Grody thought he might get a call on that. It's 2-2. Grody has a word to say to plate umpire Ed Vargo. It was a breaking pitch. Cincinnati runners lead at first and second, and this is a 2-2 pitch. Curveball struck him out. 2 strikeouts for Gentry. The side is retired. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. In the middle of the first inning, the score is the Reds 3 and the Mets coming to bat. We'll be going to the bottom of the first inning. Before we do, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WIZR-FM Johnstown.
With Ralph Conner and Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York, where the Mets are coming up in the bottom of the first inning to face right-hand pitcher Jim McLaughlin. McLaughlin has won 2 games and lost 4 this year for the Cincinnati Reds, and Bud Harrelson is leading off for the New York Mets. Switch hitter batting left, hitting .224 with 1 homer and 8 runs batted in. Here is a pitch, and it's low for a ball. Third baseman Julian Javier moving in at a gallop as Harrelson bluffed a bunt on the first pitch. Fragosi's on deck. McLaughlin delivers. That's low for a ball. On the coaching lines for the Mets, Eddie Yost at third and Sheriff Robinson is at first. McLaughlin has no record against the Mets this season. His lifetime mark against them is 1 win and no losses. That's a called strike. 2-2 now to Harrelson. McLaughlin has defeated San Diego twice, while losing to Atlanta twice, Pittsburgh, and to Chicago. 2-1 delivery. Inside low, it's 3. And 1. 1970, the first year that McLaughlin came over to the National League from the Cal Angels of the American League, he won 14 games, but last year he had arm trouble. That's a walk. It's high. For 21 consecutive games now, Bud Harrelson has been on base by a walk or a hit. Jim Fragos Frigosi's coming up. He and McLaughlin were teammates on the Cal Angels. Frigosi's batting .240 for the Mets. He has 3 home runs and 15 runs batted in. At first base, Tony Perez over to hold against the runner, Bud Harrelson. McLaughlin sets up off the stretch. He checks the runner. Here's the pitch, and it's in for a call strike. Throw to first, not in time. Harrelson's back. In taking the pitch, Frigosi bluffed the bunt. The Reds are leading by a score of 3-0. Tommy Agee now out there on deck for the Mets. Wind blowing out toward right field here tonight at Shea. Here's the pitch to Frigosi. Breaks low into the dirt, dug out of there by catcher Johnny Bench. The infield defense for the Reds is Tony Perez at first, Joe Morgan at second, Dave Concepcion at shortstop, and Julian Javier at third. Pitch is outside. The outfield defense is Pete Rose in left, Bobby Tolan in center, and Joe Haig over in right field. McLaughlin staring in at Johnny Bench to pick up his next sign. He's behind to Frigosi, 2-1. There's a swing and a foul ball off to the right side out of play. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mets are 4 games ahead of the Pittsburgh Pirates and 7 games ahead of the Chicago Cubs. Here's 2-2. Curveball, it's high and it's tight. So the count is full at 3-2. McLaughlin walked Harrelson. He's gone full on Frigosi. This is a payoff pitch, and it's on the way. Runner going, hit on the ground to the right side. It's going to go through for a base hit. On his way to third is Harrelson. Haig charges the ball up with it, and Frigosi is on at first. Here was the play. On the 3-2 pitch with nobody out, manager Yogi Berra had Harrelson moving. Now, the shortstop in that case decides who will cover. Will it be the shortstop or the second baseman? It had been decided that with the right-hand batter up there, Morgan would cover. So Morgan started moving to the bag to take the possible throw. Frigosi punched the ball on the ground through the hole in the right. Morgan changed direction to try to get back, but couldn't get back to the ball, so it's a base hit. Now Agee is up with runners at first and third, nobody out. Hitting .302, he has 5 homers and 23 runs batted in. The Reds lead 3-0. Agee's the tying run at the plate in the bottom of the first inning. That pitch is a fastball low. It's ball 1 to Agee, and Rusty Staub is moved out on deck. McLaughlin with a record of 2 wins and 4 losses. Harrelson at third, Frigosi at first. Perez holding against the runner at first. Now McLaughlin with the 1-0 delivery. Curveball, swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Agee took his ripple. Agee has reached base safely in 30 of his last 31 games and in 39 of the 42 games in which he's played this season. Here's the 1-1. Checked on and taken low. It was a check swing. The umpire Ed Vargo down on one knee said he didn't pull the trigger, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1. Fastball low. So now McLaughlin has gone 3 balls and 1 strike to Agee. He is 1 pitch away from loading him up for Rusty Staub. Agee swings the bat loosely. McLaughlin has the sign. Sets and deals. Right in for a call strike. Agee was taking with the fastball. Count is full now at 3-2. Well, manager Yogi Berra had Harrelson running on 3-2 and nobody out. Will he run Frigosi this time with runners at first and third, nobody out? Frigosi takes his lead. He's not running. Here's a swing and a looper out into right field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Harrelson scores. Frigosi is at third. Haig up with the ball. Throw to second. He's safe at second. Agee with a double and a run batted in. season for Agee. He leads the National League in 2 base hits. Pedro Borbon is up and throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. The Reds 3 and the Mets 1. Runners at second and third. Nobody out, and Rusty Staub coming up. Rusty Staub, left-hand batter, hitting .310, 8 homers, 29 runs batted in. McLaughlin sets up. There's a swing and a drive in the right field, but Haig is there. He makes the catch. Tagged at third is Fregosi coming down the line to throw. Goes to shortstop, and Fregosi scores. Holding at second is Agee. So the Mets have 2 runs in here. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in by Staub. John Milner will be coming up now with 1 man out and a runner at second. It's the Reds 3 and the Mets 2. John Milner had a long home run here last night. Hitting .296. He has 5 home runs and 14 runs batted in. This is his rookie season in the National League. The tying run is at second now with 1 man out. Agee there with good speed. McLaughlin wants Johnny Bench to run through the signs for him again. He does. Here's the pitch. Curveball fouled off and out of play. It's strike 1. Started him off with a breaking pitch, and the hammer took a riffle, so it is strike 1. Again, the pitch to the left-hand batter. Hit on the ground to the right side, and it's taken at first base by Preris. He goes to first. Unassisted, that moves Agee over to third. 2 men are out, and Cleon Jones is coming up. Milner grounding out to first base unassisted. Cleon is hitting .279. He has 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. Pedro Borbon continues to throw in the bullpen for the Cincinnati Reds. Bottom half of the first inning. McLaughlin works straight away to the right-hand batter. Swung on it on the ground to short. Concepcion is up with it. He goes to Paris, and the side is out. So the New York Mets pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of an inning, the score is the Reds 3 and the Mets 2. Gary Gentry now facing the Cincinnati Reds in the top half of the second inning. And it's Jim McLaughlin, the pitcher, to lead off. McLaughlin's had 3 hits and 16 times at bat. He's had 1 homer, and that's his only run batted in. He has an average of 188. He's a right-hand batter. Here's Gentry's pitch. Spotted outside fastball, strike 1. Pete Rose is waiting on deck. Right down the pipe for a call strike. It's 1-1. Cincinnati 3 and the New York Mets 2. 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Gentry reached back and fired that. Now here's the 1-2 offering. Outside, it's 2-2. The National League this afternoon. The St. Louis Cardinals shut out the staggering San Francisco Giants 6-0. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Third strikeout for Gentry. 1 away, and Pete Rose is coming up. He struck out in the first inning. Reggie Cleveland was the Cardinal winner today. He's won 5 and lost 4, and the Giants made it 5 losses in a row. They've lost 9 of their last 11. Juan Marichal started and took the loss. Marichal has won 2 and lost 9. John Cumberland relieved him in the 9th inning. Joe Torre hit his 7th homer in the second with nobody on for the St. Louis Cardinals, who won it 6-0. Less than 3,000 people on hand at Candlestick. It's the Rose hit on the ground deep short. Harrelson has it up and throwing across to Jones, and there's 2 men out. Joe Morgan has been up 1 time, and he drew a walk. And in Philadelphia tonight, the Phils are trying to break a 9-game losing streak, and they've lost 19 of their last 20. Houston is pitching Jerry Royce, a left-hander who's won 3 and lost 4, and the Phils are pitching a left-hander, Steve Carlton, who's won 5 and lost 6. At the end of 5 innings, Houston nothing, the Phillies nothing. The Atlanta Braves have won 6 of 7. They're in Montreal in the middle of the third, no score. Bill Necro 7 and 4 against Mike Torres 4 and 3. Pitch is high to Morgan for a ball. Pittsburgh Pirates are scheduled at San Diego in a twilight doubleheader. Latest start. Pittsburgh's won 16 of 20. Here's a swing and a fly ball to left. Milner's coming fast, and Harrelson goes out to make the catch. Bud Harrelson, the shortstop, grabbed it. So Gentry retires the side in order. Nothing across, and in the middle of the second inning, the score is Reds 3 and the Mets 2. The Mets trail by a run as they come up here in the bottom of the second. It's Wayne Garrett to lead off, up for his first time in the game. Garrett's had 6 hits and 29 times at bat, hitting .209. He's batted in 1 run. He's a left-hand batter. Facing right-hand pitcher Jim McLaughlin. That pitch is in for a called strike. Chicago Cubs are at Los Angeles again tonight. The Dodgers have won 8 of their last 10, including a shutout last night over the Cubs. Swing and a miss. It's strike 2 to Garrett. Over in the American League, the New York Yankees are in Texas to play the Rangers again tonight. Steve Klein 3 and 1 against Jim Schellenbach 1 and 2. Chicago White Sox beat the Boston Red Sox today 2-1. Stan Bonson got the win. He's 7 and 6. There's a pitch in for a call strike 3. McLaughlin strikes out Garrett on 3 pitches. First strikeout for the Cincinnati right-hander. Jerry Grote's the batter. Hitting .239. He has 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. For Boston today, Luis Tiant started, took the loss. Bill Lee relieved him in the 6th. In the middle of the 5th inning tonight, Baltimore 5, Minnesota nothing. Jim Perry 4 and 4, relieved by Bob Gebhardt in the 5th, and Pat Dobson 5 and 6 for Baltimore. The Orioles have lost 5 in a row and 7 of their last 8. Swinging a ground ball up the middle, charged by Concepcion. He'll have to go in a hurry, and he does in time to get Grote. 2 away. Gary Gentry's the batter, 2 for 22. 1 run batted in, .091. The end of 3 innings, the Oakland A's 4 and the Cleveland Indians 3. Oakland's won 5 in a row and 15 of 18. Cleveland's lost 11 of 13. Kenny Holtzman going for Oakland since coming over from the Cubs to the American League. Holtzman has won 8 games and lost 3. Dick Tidrow for Cleveland. Dennis Riddleberger relieved him in the 4th. Joe Rudy hit his 4th home in the 1st, and Epstein hit his 7th in the 1st. That's high for a ball. Cal Angels, who won 9 of their last 12, are at Detroit in a latest start, and the Milwaukee Brewers play the Kansas City Royals in Kansas City. Jim Lonborg 3 and 2 against Dick Drago 3 and 4. That pitch is a called strike. It's 1 and 1. Right here, it's the Reds 3 and the Mets 2. That's high for a ball. It's 2 and 1. Two men out with nobody on base. A little low for a ball. It's 3 and 1 now to Gentry. This will be a 3-1 pitch. And it's high. It's a walk to the Met pitcher. Second walk issued by McLaughlin. Puts the tying run on at first with 2 men out, and will bring up the Met leadoff man, Bud Harrelson, who walked in the 1st inning and scored the first Met run. At third base, Julian Javier moves up on the edge of the grass against Harrelson. Gentry leads at first. Pitch is taken right down the pipe for a called strike. Fragosi's on deck. McLaughlin sets again. Pitch to Harrelson. Curveball hammered on the ground, right back to the mound. McLaughlin has it, goes to Perez. The side is out. So it's no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and one left. And at the end of 2 innings of play, the score is the Reds 3 and the Mets 2. It's the Reds 3, the Mets 2 as we go to the third. And here for the play-by-play, Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Lindsey Nelson, and hi, everyone. Bobby Tolan will lead off for the Reds. Dangerous left-hand batter. He blooped a double right on the left field line his first time up to set up a 3-run inning for Cincinnati as they got off to a 3-0 lead. The Mets came back, picked up 2 runs in the bottom of the first, and now as we go to the third, it's 3-2 Cincinnati. Tolan, the left-hand batter, and Gentry on the mound misses with the fastball, ball 1. Gentry has given up 3 runs on 2 hits. He has walked 3, 1 intentionally, struck out 3. Tolan batting .320, and he drills one to right, stop back, and it's going to be over his head against the fence. He fields it perfectly off the fence, and he holds Tolan to a single. Dusty stopped taking that ball, and he was close to the fence, right off the fence on 1 hop. Beautiful play there, and his powerful arm stopping Tolan at first. That was a line shot right off the 358 mark in right field. So Tolan on at first base, and it brings up Johnny Bench. Bench was walked intentionally his first time up. He's red hot. 8 home runs in his last 7 ball games. He's batting .297. Tied for the league lead in home runs with 14 and 37 RBIs. Tolan with great speed on at first, and the first pitch is in the dirt. It's dug out perfectly by Gentry, by Grote, and Tolan stays at first. Gentry really having difficulty with his control here tonight. Bench being played slightly as a pull hitter, and here's the pitch back, and it's hit in the air to shallow center field, high in the air. A lot of time for Agee to get to it. Tolan halfway. Agee gets under the ball and makes the catch, and Tolan back to first. Bench was 1 for 3 last night with a 2-run home run to account for all the runs the Reds had as the Mets won 3-2. That brings up Tony Perez, his double with the bases loaded in the first inning, scoring 3. Perez now at 28 runs batted in, hitting .281. And the first pitch, breaking ball swung on and foul, tipped into the glove of Jerry Grote, strike 1. With the bases loaded and Perez up the first time, Gentry threw him 7 consecutive fastballs, then threw him a curve, and he lined it foul on the left field line, came back with a fastball, and he doubled to right center field. Tolan going, and the pitch is grounded out to short. Harrelson has to play off the first base and throws there in time, and Tolan going down to second base on the move and holding there. So a runner in scoring position with 2 men out. It brings up the right fielder, Joe Haig.
Right fielder, Joe Haig, number 25.
Haig popped up to second base his first time up. He's batting .241, a left-hand batter. Reds leading 3-2. 2 men out, top of the third. Now Gentry sets, checks at second. The pitch to Haig is a fastball over the outside corner, about letter high, a called strike. Haig was traded to the Cincinnati Reds for Bernie Carbo, who went to the St. Louis Cardinals. One strike count, Gentry ready. And his next delivery in there again, and strike 2 call. Haig has hit 5 home runs, driven in 18 with his .241 average. And the 2-strike delivery. Fastball, it is just inside, just above the knee. Hard fastball, 1-2. Another outstanding crowd on hand tonight. Last night, 29,353 paid. Got at least that many tonight. 1-2 pitch. It's just outside, and again Gentry with the fastball. And those last 2 pitches missed by just about an inch or so. Gentry turns and says something to home plate umpire Ed Vargo. Grote also giving some conversation to Vargo. 2-2 the count. 2 men out. A runner at second. And the pitch. Curveball grounded to Jones at first base. He fields the ball, tosses to Gentry, covering there, and the side is retired. No runs, a leadoff single off the right field fence. No errors, and a man left at second, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Reds 3, the Mets 2. Mets coming up in the bottom half of the third. The score 3-2 in favor of Cincinnati, and the leadoff batter will be Jim Fregosi. Jim on a full count, a 3-2 count, with Harrelson running off first base, grounded the ball through the hole vacated by Joe Morgan to put Harrelson at third on the hit and run play, or run and hit play, actually. It got the Mets going to come back and get their 2 runs in the first inning. First pitch by Jim McLaughlin is low, and it's ball 1. McLaughlin and Fregosi teammates with the Angels a couple of years back. Jim hitting .245. He has 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. And the right-hander's next pitch over at the knees, a sinking fastball, 1-1. Fregosi still trying to break out of a batting slump. Had 1 for 4 last night. 1-1 delivery. It's hit foul into the stands on the first base side. Breeze is going in from left field, and it takes the ball hit out toward center and around toward right, away from the fielders. And it's somewhat of a barrier for a right-hand batter and a drive to left. One ball, 2 strikes. McLaughlin's next delivery. Curveball grounded out to third, taken there by Javier. The throw to first base in time, 1 away. That will bring up Tommy Agee. Tommy blooped the double to right field to drive in a run his first time up. Batting at .306. Agee has been on base in 31 of his last 32 games, and in every game he has played but 3, either by a walk or a base hit. And the first pitch, a curveball breaking low, and it's ball 1. Agee last night 2 for 4, and he drove in the winning run. 1-0 pitch. Grounded, chopped out to third, and fielded by Javier. The throw to first base is in time. High chopper, a 1-hopper that Javier had to hustle on and get rid of in a hurry to get Agee at first base. 2 up, 2 away, brings up Rusty Staub. Rusty 0 for 4 last night, drove in the run his first time up with a sacrifice fly and a line drive to right. Leads the club in RBIs with 30, has 8 home runs, and is averaged at .310. And the first pitch, hit hard toward the second baseman Morgan. He moves to his right side, fields it, and quickly throws to first base, and the side retired. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jim McLaughlin. And the score at the end of 3, the Reds 3, the Mets 2. Ralph Kiner along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Shea Stadium, and Gentry starts off with a fastball and gets a swinging strike as he works to Javier in the top of the 4th inning. Javier walked in the 3-2 pitch his first time up, batting .271. Strike pitch by Gentry, a let up, a swing and a miss, and he had him fooled completely. Strike 2 count. In the National League, St. Louis defeated San Francisco 6-0. Reggie Cleveland, the winning pitcher, he's 5-4, and Marichal, the loser, he's now 2-9. Torrey had a home run, his 7th, and the second one going on for the Cardinals. The 2-strike pitch, grounded out toward Gentry by Gentry, fielded by Harrelson. A bare-hand grab to throw to first in time for the out. Bud Harrelson had to go that way and made the bare-hand grab and got it off. Another spectacular play. Gentry, after delivering a pitch, is so completely off balance that anything back through the mound is just about a cinch to go on through. That brings up Dave Concepcion. He struck out his first time up. batting .222. And the first pitch is fouled off, strike one. The end of 5 1/2 innings, Houston nothing, Philadelphia nothing. Jerry Royce pitching for Houston, Steve Carlton 5 and 6 pitching for Philadelphia. Phillies trying to break a 9-game losing streak. The end of 3, Montreal 3, Atlanta nothing. Phil Niekro pitching for Atlanta. Mike Torres going for Montreal. Next pitch is looped out to right, a base hit. Hit off the end of the bat. Coming over is Staub to field the ball, and Concepcion stays at first. So a runner at first base with 1 out, and Jim McLaughlin, the pitcher, coming up.
Pitcher, Jim McLaughlin.
Fourth base hit off Gary Gentry. The Mets have 2 as they trail by 1. Pittsburgh trying to play a doubleheader at San Diego. Nelson Briles scheduled for the first game against Fred Norman. Chicago scheduled against the Dodgers. They lead by a 1.5 games over Cincinnati and Houston in the Western Division. Mets looking for the sacrifice. Bogosian about 60 feet away. And the pitch as McLaughlin squares is bunted off foul on the ground to the right side. The end of 1 1/2 innings, the Yankees nothing, Texas nothing. Steve Klein 3 and 1 against Jim Schellenbach 1 and 2. White Sox defeated Boston by a 2-1 score. Bonson the winning pitcher. He's now 7 and 6. The loser, Tia, no home run. At the end of 5 innings, Baltimore on a 5-game losing streak, leading by a score of 10-0. Pat Dobson pitching that one for Baltimore. Jim Perry started for Minnesota. Now a bunt out hard toward the first base side. Gentry fields the ball and started to go to second base, but saw he had no play there and tosses off to Garrett, covering at first for the sacrifice. Jones had a much better shot at fielding the ball for a play at second, but Gentry cut it off in front of him. So now a runner in scoring position with 2 men out, and the batter coming up is Pete Rose. He's 0 for 2. The end of 4 innings, Oakland 8, Cleveland 3. Oakland leads by 4 games in their division. Holtzman 8 and 3 pitching for Oakland. Rudy and Epstein have had home runs. California, Detroit just getting started. Bryan pitching for California. He's 4 and 4. Joe Niekro going for Detroit. First pitch, and there for a call, strike to Rose, strike 1. Rose hitting .253. Milwaukee won Kansas City nothing after 1. Lonborg against Dick Drago. Now Gentry's 1 strike pitch. It is swung on and missed. Rose with a hard, vicious cut. Gentry again with that fastball, strike 2. Reds leading 3-2, 2 men out, top of the 4th inning. And the pitch. It is swung on and fouled back. Again, the fastball. Rose out of the batter's box. Now back in. Signs are out, and Gentry sets up. Again, the 2-strike pitch. Just outside, about letter high, 1 and 2. Dave Concepcion, the runner at second. He has good speed. And the 1-2 delivery. Again, a fastball. It's again outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A switch hitter. Batting from the left-hand side in that familiar crouch. And Gentry's 2-2 pitch. It is inside, almost hits Rose on the right knee, and he has to spin out away and ends up on the other side of the batter's box on the right-hander's side. That puts the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck batter, a left-hand batter, Joe Morgan. 2. And the pitch on the way. It is hit right back through the middle of base hit. Concepcion coming around third, and he'll score. A.J. throw is cut off by Harrelson, and Rose stays at first base. So Rose battling off to a full count of 3-2, lines a single through the middle, a clean base hit, and the Reds lead by a score of 4-2. That's Pete Rose's 13th RBI and his first hit in the series. Brings up Joe Morgan. Joe has walked and scored a run. He also has popped up the short. Morgan hitting .268. And the first pitch, a curve over, a called strike. Gentry's been throwing very few curves in this game. An occasional changeup. He has now given up 4 runs on 5 hits. A pitch back to Morgan is a fastball. It's high and outside, 1-1. Gentry's record this year, 3 wins and 3 losses. He has a 2.91 ERA coming to this game. Next pitch to Morgan, a curve hit off the end of the bat down to Harrelson. Harrelson fields it quickly, goes to first base, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and the man left at first, and the score after 3.5 innings, the Reds 4, the Mets 2. Well, tomorrow it's going to be Tom Seaver in the mound for the Mets. Tom will be going for his 9th victory. He has a record of 8 wins and 2 losses. He'll be opposed by Ross Grimsley, and he has a record of 2-1. A day ball game will be on the air at 2 o'clock, game time 2:05, and it's a special day here tomorrow. All you senior citizens 60 years of age and over will be admitted to Shea tomorrow for a 50-cent service charge. So why not take advantage of an opportunity to relax at the ballpark and watch Tom Seaver, one of the premier pitchers in baseball, challenge Johnny Bench and company. Remember the date, tomorrow afternoon, when the Mets meet the Reds in the final game of this 3-game series, and the Reds are a red-hot ball club. We're looking forward to seeing all you senior citizens out enjoying a day at Shea Stadium. The Phillies have come up with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead Houston 3-0, and they're trying to break a losing streak of 9 games. Got Steve Carlton on the mound. He's got a personal 5-game losing streak. That's a lot of losses for that hard-throwing left-hander. Mets trailing by 2 now, with the Reds scoring 1 in the top of the 4th, and the leadoff batter will be John Milner for the Mets. He grounded out to first base his first time up. And the first pitch by Jim McLaughlin is a curveball outside, ball 1. McLaughlin has retired his last 10 batters. There's a ground ball chopped out to second. A 2-hopper for Morgan. He fields the ball and throws to Perez, 1 away. Sinker ball working well now as he has got the Mets to ground the ball on the ground to the infield. Brings up Cleon Jones. Cleon grounded out to short his 1 time up. Milner before the out hitting at .292. Jones batting at .277 as he comes up. McLaughlin, a sinker ball pitcher with a lot of breaking balls mixed in. And the right-hander's first pitch, a sinking fastball, too low, ball 1. Right-hander's next delivery. Again, sinking fastball. This one taken at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jones started the swing, held up. 1-1 pitch. Curveball over, called strike, and it's 1-2. McLaughlin came into this game with a 4.32 ERA. He has won 2 and lost 4. 1-2 pitch. Curve way outside. Backhanded out of the dirt by Johnny Bench. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball grounded in the hole. Going over is Concepcion. He bobbles the ball and then loses it. Jones is safe. Tough chance for Concepcion. Long throw if he had held onto the ball against Jones's speed. will be Wayne Garrett, and it's being scored a base hit. Garrett was struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Wayne Garrett, a left-hand batter, 0 for 3 in the series. Wayne hitting an even 200. And the pitch. Garrett takes a curve. It's low, ball 1. Garrett has no home runs this year. And the ball gets away from bench, but Jones did not go. He started to go, then changed his mind. The ball rolled about 15 feet from bench, and bench got to it in a hurry. 2 balls, no strikes. Reds leading 4-2. 1 man out, bottom half of the 4th. Jones at first base. And McLaughlin with his next delivery. Garrett takes ball 3. On deck batter, Jerry Grote. And the 3-0 pitch. In there for a call strike. Willie Stargell's hit his 12th home run of the year. It came with 2 men on the top of the first against Fred Norman, and Pittsburgh leads 3-0 with San Diego coming up for the first time against Nelson Briles. Doubleheader scheduled at San Diego. 3-1 delivery. Garrett walks. Pitch outside, and the Mets now have runners at first and second base on McLaughlin's 3rd walk of the ball game, and Jerry Grote coming up with 1 man out. Grote grounded out to short his first time up on his first pitch. Jerry hitting .237. 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. Pedro Borbon is starting to throw in the bullpen for the Reds. First pitch to Grote is swung on and missed, strike 1. Fastball on through. Borbon was scoring in the first inning. Strike count. And the next pitch. Checking the swing and a curveball over, strike 2. No one throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. The on-deck batter is Gary Gentry. 2-strike count. Laughlin's next delivery. Curve low and outside. 1-2. Has a major league record of 57 wins, 69 losses. And his 1-2 delivery. Curveball swung on and missed, and Grote is struck out. Second strikeout for McLaughlin. Brings up the pitcher, Gary Gentry. Gentry walked his first time up. He's been up 22 times with 2 hits. He has driven in 1 run. Got a run in the top of the 7th. Phillies lead 3-1 as they bat the bottom half of the 7th. First pitch, a called strike, a fastball in there. And the right-hander sets up. The next pitch, swung on and missed. A curveball that time. Strike 2 count. McLaughlin really doing the work here with runners at first and second and 1 out. Making some fine pitches on Grote, and now again here on Gentry. 2-strike count. Runners edge up. The pitch to Gentry is swung on and missed, and with his second and third strikeout of the ball game. Both batters going down on a curveball. McLaughlin pitches out of the jam. No runs, one hit. No errors, a walk, and 2 men left. And the score at the end of 4, the Reds 4, the Mets 2.
Bobby Tolan is up to lead off now for the Cincinnati Reds in the top of the 5th. Gary Gentry into the motion. Pitch on the way, and it's low for a ball. Dug up out of the dirt by Jerry Grody. Waiting on deck is Johnny Bench. Tolan doubled in the first inning. He singled in the 3rd inning. 2 for 2 here tonight. Holds a bat high as Gentry again rocks on the rubber and delivers. Curveball swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Mets have pulled the outfield defense around toward right. Wynn now ripping the flag with greater velocity out toward the right field fence. Here is the 1-1 delivery. Curveball hammered on the ground, and it's Jones at first. Up with it. He jogs to the bag unassisted, and there's one away. Johnny Bench coming up. He walked intentionally in the first inning, and he flied to center a high fly ball in the 3rd inning. Year before last, the most valuable player in the National League, Johnny Bench. Nobody on base, one away. Gentry's pitch. Swung on and missed. It's strike 1. Tony Perez is next in the batting order for the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are leading here by a score of 4-2 in their batting in the top half of the 5th inning. Now the strike 1 delivery. Let up, and it's hit in the air to left field. Milner drifts back and over, and John Milner's there to make the catch. 2 away, and it'll be Tony Perez coming up now. He had a double to drive in 3 runs in the first inning. He grounded out short to first in the 3rd. Gentry delivers the pitch. And it's low for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 offering. Let up, and it's hammered foul down the left field line, out of play. Ending up way up in the mezzanine deck. Above the press deck, down in the left field corner, but a long foul ball. So it's 1-1 to Perez, who's followed by Joe Haig in the Cincinnati batting order. This is a 1-1 delivery. Low, short hop by Grody. It's 2 balls and a strike. They play Perez to go to the opposite field with Agee in center shaded toward right. Now the 2-1. Fastball outside. It's 3 balls and a strike now to Perez. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and hit in the air to deep center. Agee going back. He's there, and he makes the catch. In the warning track, about 400 feet from home plate in straightaway center field. Side is out in order. Nothing across. In the middle of the 5th inning, the score is the Reds 4, the Mets 2. The New York Mets trail by 2 runs as they bring the top of the batting order up in the bottom of the 5th to face Jim McLaughlin. They've had Cesar Geronimo loosening up down in the bullpen. He's an outfielder, sometimes brought in for defensive purposes in the late innings. And right, Harrelson has walked and grounded out pitcher to first. Switch hitter, batting left. McLaughlin has struck out 3 and walked 3, and allowing 2 runs on only 3 hits, as the Reds are out front by a score of 4-2. Javier at third on the grass, and the pitch is in for a call strike to Harrelson, who is taking all the way. Harrelson, Fregosi, and Agee scheduled up in this half inning for the New York Mets. Here's the strike 1 delivery, and it's a fastball inside. It's 1-1. McLaughlin came into the game with a record of 2 wins and 4 losses. Now here's the 1-1 pitch. In for a call, strike 2. It's 1-2 to Bud Harrelson. field is shortened up all around and shaded to left against Harrelson. And Senator Tolan is way over in left. Rose shortened up and moved toward the line. Now the 1-2 pitch. Inside, it's 2-2. Bud's the author of a new book just out called How to Play Better Baseball, which he talks about the struggle he had in becoming a switch hitter. Here's a 2-2 pitch curveball high and away. He said that at Jacksonville in AAA, when he first started switch hitting, Solly Hemus was his manager, and Solly wanted him to take everything to left field. And then when he came up to the Mets, Gil Hodges wanted him to pull some of the balls, and so he did. And so now he can do either. Here's a payoff pitch. Swung on it on the ground to second base. Taken there by Morgan, played to Perez, and Harrelson is out. One away, Fragosi's coming up. Had a base hit on the hit and run in the first inning, and later scored. Grounded out third to first in the third. He's 1 for 2. Since the Philadelphia Phillies are leading the Houstons 3-1, with Houston batting in the top of the 8th, as the Phils try to bust out of that slump and the losing streak. Here is a pitch that's in for a called strike. Jerry Royce has been relieved by Culver in the 7th inning. Steve Carlton still going for the Phils, who came in having lost 9 in a row and 19 of 20. Strike one pitch to Fregosi. Foul off and out of play down the right field line. Out of play, it's 2 strikes. Pittsburgh Pirates got 3 in the top of the first. San Diego did not score in the first inning. It was a Willie Stargell homer. Nelson Browns against Fred Norman. That's the first game of a twilight doubleheader. Breaking pitch a little low. And the Cubs are at Los Angeles in a later start. Right here, Reds 4, Mets 2. A 1-2 pitch to Jim Fregosi. Swung on and hit down the line and right. It's a foul ball out of play. Count continues 1-2. Tomorrow afternoon, Tom Seaver is the Met pitcher. He has won 8 games and he's lost 2. Ross Grimsley is the Cincinnati hurler. He has won 2 games and lost 1 this year. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and it's low for a ball, so it's 2-2 now to Fregosi. This will be a 2-2 offering, and it's on the way. Curveball, fouled off and out of play. Eddie Yost off the coaching line at third, snares it and gets the hand, tosses the ball on over to Javier, who returns it to pitcher Jim McLaughlin. 1 man out, nobody on. 2-2 delivery. Fastball, and it's ripped into center field. Curving away from Tolan. On by him, it'll be extra bases. All the way to the wall, and Fregosi is at second with a double. It is his 8th 2-base hit of the season. Fregosi with a double, coming with 1 man out. So now Agee is the tying run at the plate. This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium. Agee is up now as McLaughlin checks the runner, and Agee backs out. McLaughlin was just ready to deliver, but Ed Vargo had called him and moved out from behind the plate. The hit by Fregosi, the double, was the 4th hit for the Mets off McLaughlin. 1 away, Fregosi the runner at second. Agee is back in and waiting. Catcher Johnny Bench flashes the sign. McLaughlin sets, checks, and deals. It's in for a call strike. Rusty Staub has moved out there on deck. Again, McLaughlin sets. Here's a pitch way outside, and on 1 hop, it's taken by Johnny Bench. Bench did a fantastic job of gathering that ball in to keep it from going by. 1 ball and 1 strike. This will be a 1-1 delivery. It's on the way. Curveball breaking low. So McLaughlin goes behind to Agee, 2 balls and a strike. The Reds are leading by a score of 4-2. Mets are batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now here is the 2-1 delivery. Hit on the ground, back to the mound, and it's dropped by McLaughlin. goes to first in time as Fregosi moves to third. Now, Fregosi had made his break when the ball was hit to the mound, and McLaughlin had an idea that he could hang up Fregosi between third and second, but dropped the ball. In the meantime, it had to go to first. So there are 2 men out. Fregosi is at third, and Staub is coming up. Staub had a sacrifice fly to right to drive in a run in the first inning. He grounded out second to first in the third inning, so officially he's 0 for 1. Mets trying to build a run here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's a pitch. Breaks inside low for a ball. Double barrel action. Pedro Bourbon and Tom Hall are working in the bullpen now for the Cincinnati Reds. Bourbon and Hall. That pitch swung on it on the ground to short. Takes a big hop to Concepcion. He goes across to Perez and the side is out. Staub grounding out short to first. It's no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 5 innings, the score is the Reds 4, the Mets 2. Through 5 innings of play here at Shea Stadium in New York, it's the Reds 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and the Mets 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Joe Haig, left-hand batting right fielder, up to lead off for the Reds here in the top of the 6th, facing Gary Gentry. Nate Colbert has hit a home run for the San Diego Padres in the 2nd inning with nobody on, his 11th of this year. So in the bottom of the 2nd, in the first game of a twilight, it's Pittsburgh 3 and San Diego Padres 1. Here's a curveball low for a ball. Joe Haig is popped to second, grounded out first base to the pitcher covering. Fastball hit way back in right. It is going, and this one is a home run for Joe Haig. Home run number 6 on a 1-0 fastball. And the Reds are out front by a score of 5-2. Joe Haig with a leadoff home run. Julian Javier is the batter. He has walked and grounded out so far. That was base hit number 6 for the Reds. Off Gary Gentry. Swinging a ground ball to second. Garrett has it. He goes to first in time, and there's 1 away. Concepcion's coming up. Here's today's baseball quiz on the message board and right. Can you guess who has appeared in most games in Cincinnati history? He's one of these. Roush, Pinson, Rose, Frank Robinson, Ted Kaczewski, Post, Roy McMillan, Ernie Lombardi. Can you guess who has appeared in the most games in Cincinnati history? One of these. Roush, Pinson, Rose, Frank Robinson, Ted Kaczewski, Post, Roy McMillan, Ernie Lombardi. With 1 man out and nobody on, here's a pitch to Concepcion. Pitch is low for a ball. Cincinnati shortstop has struck out and had a base hit to right so far. Had a base hit and scored in the top of the 4th inning. Fastball in for a called strike. It's 1-1. The Reds are out front by a score of 5-2, and they're batting here in the top of the 6th inning. Gentry's 1-1. Inside for a ball. It's 2-1. Jim McLaughlin follows Concepcion in the batting order. Now 2-1. Fastball hit in the air to left field, and Milner is drifting over and back. John Milner has crawled, and he makes the catch at the edge of the warning track in left center. Now Jim McLaughlin, the pitcher, he's 0 for 1 in the sacrifice tonight. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Little action going down the Met bullpen now. It's Chuck Taylor up and throwing. Chuck Taylor in the Met bullpen. Here's the pitch to McLaughlin. Swung on and foul back. It's strike 1. Joe Haig opened this inning with a home run. The 5th run scored by the Reds. They got 3 in the 1st inning. The Mets counted with 2 in the bottom of the 1st and with just 1 run shy, but the Reds added another in the 4th and another here in the 6th inning. Curveball, it's a little high, so it's 1-1. Now Gentry's pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. on offering. Swung on and fouled off the glove of Jerry Grody, so it's 2-2. The Houston Astros will be here for the weekend. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Right in for a called strike, 3 strikeout, number 4 for Gentry. 1 run, 1 hit. The homer by Haig. No errors, none left in the middle of the 6th inning. The score is the Reds 5 and the Mets 2. Manager Sparky Anderson of the Cincinnati Reds has made his defensive move now. He has inserted Cesar Geronimo in the lineup in right field in place of Joe Haig. So the Mets trail by 3 as they come up now in the bottom of the 6th, and it's John Milner to lead off. He's gone 0 for 2. He grounded out twice. The Mets have had only 4 hits off McLaughlin, 2 of them back-to-back by Fregosi and Agee in the 1st inning. The infield hit by Jones in the 4th and a double by Fregosi in the 5th, and that's it. Geronimo has stationed himself deeply in right field with Milner at the plate. Swung on and popped up into left field. Pete Rose moves up. He calls. He's underneath and waiting, and Rose makes the catch. One away. Cleon Jones is the batter. He's been up 1 time and had been up twice and had 1 hit. He's 1 for 2. The answer to the baseball quiz on the message board and right. The man who's appeared in more games than anyone in the history of the Reds is Vada Pinson with 1,569. He is now with the California Angels. Vada Pinson. Goslin's pitch. Low to Cleon Jones for ball 1. Jones is followed by Wayne Garrett in the Met batting order. Delivery. Swung on and popped up down the right field line. A foul ball drifting into the stands and out of play. So it's 1-1 now to Jones. There's all sorts of baseball brass in the ballpark tonight. Chub Feeney, the president of the National League. Fred Flagg, the secretary of the National League and supervisor of National League umpires. Charlie Seeger, retired former secretary of baseball and former chairman of the Rules Committee. Here's a pitch low for a ball. It's 2-1. Delivery. Fastball in for a called strike. It's 2-2 now. Cleon Jones. Here's the 2-2. Curveball hammered on the ground toward third. Charged by Javier in fair territory. Throw to first, not in time. Jones is on as Ferris came off the bag to take the throw of Javier. Javier had elected to let that ball go. Might have gone foul, but he played it in fair territory. Charged it and threw on, not in time to get Cleon Jones. And it is scored as a base hit, the second for Jones. So Wayne Garrett comes up now. He was called out on strikes and walks so far. There's 1 away. Second infield hit for Jones tonight. Danny Frisella gets up now in the Met bullpen. It's Frisella up and throwing, with the number 7 man in the batting order at the plate. Here's a pitch to Garrett. Low for a ball. Grody moves up on deck. Perez at first playing behind the run of Jones since the Reds have a 3-run lead. Rothman again sets and checks. Here's 1-0. Swung out, hit deep to right. It's way back there, and going back is right fielder Cesar Geronimo. He has it in the warning track, plays it back, and Jones retreats to first base. Wayne Garrett got a hold of that one and sent Geronimo into the warning track in the right field corner, but he drifts it back to make the catch, and Jones holds it first, 2 away, and Jerry Grody's coming up. Grody's grounded out and struck out. He's gone 0 for 2. The Reds are leading by a score of 5-2. Jim McLaughlin off the stretch, and Deals a pitch now to Grody. Breaking pitch low for ball one. Gary Gentry had moved out on deck. Jones takes his lead. Fastball low, and it's 2-0. Offers 2-0. Inside, he's gone behind now 3-0. Two men out and a runner at first. This is a 3-0 delivery. Right down the pipe. He was taking all the way, and it's 3-1. Johnny Bench flashing a sign out now to McLaughlin. 3-1 pitch to Grody on the way. Right in for a called strike, too. Now an automatic start for Jones at first on this pitch. Two delivery. Jones is running. Swinging a foul ball off and out of play. So the count continues at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grody swings about a time or two now. Jones moving. Swinging a fly ball to right. There's our Geronimo. It's coming up. He's there, and he makes the catch. So the side is out. No runs are hit, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of 6 innings, the score is the Reds 5 and the Mets 2.
In the 7th inning here at Shea Stadium, switch hitter Pete Rose will lead off against Gary Gentry. Pete's last turn at bat, he singled hard to center field, delivering a 2-out single to drive home a run. Cincinnati 5 runs on 6 hits. New York 2 runs on 5 hits. And a curve in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. Sparky Anderson set it up for Pete Rose in the 4th inning, and Pete did not let him down. The 1-0 delivery on the outside corner, 1-1. Back in the 4th inning with 1 out, Concepcion got a base hit to right. Sparky then had McLaughlin, the pitcher, bunt Concepcion over to second for Pete Rose, and Rose singled him home. Fouled, upstairs, no play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 9th inning at Philadelphia, the Phillies lead the Astros 3-1. Phillies have lost 9 in a row, 19 of their last 20. Montreal leading Atlanta 5-1. They're in the 7th. Gentry delivers. Outside and high, 2-2 on Pete Rose. We have an excellent Wednesday night crowd here at Shea. The paid is $35,995. Ground ball hit hard in the hole to right field, a base hit. Pete Rose takes the turn. He has his 2nd hit of the game. Leadoff single to right by Pete Rose, and now Joe Morgan is coming up. Morgan, hitting 2nd in the order, has walked and scored, popped to short, bounced to short. With the crowd here tonight, the Mets go over the 600,000 in home attendance. And there'll be a lot of people here over the weekend with the Astros coming in for the weekend series. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, helmet day, and Sunday afternoon. Pitch to Joe Morgan, fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch on the way, in at the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Chuck Taylor loosens up again for the New York Mets. Ed Sprague is loosening his arm up for Cincinnati. Leon Jones holding against Pete Rose at first. And Gentry's 1-1 delivery, high outside, 2-1. Gentry relying mostly on his fastball here this evening. Let's have the outfield rather deep and around to right against Joe Morgan. And a swing and a miss. The count evens at 2-2. Bobby Tolan is on deck, and then Johnny Bench. The Reds had won 7 in a row, all on the road until they lost to New York last night, 3-2. The 2-2 pitch, the curve, a fly ball hit the left field. John Milner walking under this one, and he has it for the out. 1 out and 1 on. Now Bobby Tolan.
Number 28.
At the end of 3.5 in Arlington, Texas, the Yankees lead the Rangers 6-4. This afternoon, the White Sox edged the Boston Red Sox 2-1. Bonson was the winner, Tiant the loser. Baltimore buried Minnesota tonight 11-2. He runs up the bunt, and the curve is over. Strike one call. So the Orioles break a 5-game losing streak. Pat Dobson won his 6th game. Jim Perry was the loser. Oakland having a big night, leading Cleveland 10-4 in the 7th inning. Now Gentry eyes the runner. Here's the pitch to Tolan. Misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby Tolan has 2 for 3, a double on the left field line in the 1st inning, and a 360-foot single off the wall in right field his 2nd time up. The 1-1 pitch, foul back toward the press level. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nolan Ryan is the Angel pitcher tonight in Detroit. The Angels and the Tigers, no score after 3. Joe Niekro pitching for Detroit. And Milwaukee leads Kansas City 2-0. They have played 4.5 innings. The former Red Sox star Jim Lonborg pitching for Milwaukee. And Dick Drago is the Kansas City Royal pitcher. 1-2 the count on Bobby Tolan. And he loops one over toward the left field line. It's going to be fair, I think. Fair ball just inside the line. His 3rd hit of the game. Holding at 3rd is Pete Rose, and Tolan once again was jammed and doubles almost on the left field line. This ball was fair by a little more. Tolan, a left-hand hitter, was jammed by Gentry, hit it off the bat handle, looped it in the air, shallow, down the left field line, and just inside the line. Johnny Bench comes up with runners on 2nd and 3rd. We had this situation back in the 1st inning. The Mets intentionally walked Johnny Bench to load the bases, try for a double play, and Tony Perez doubled to deep right center, driving all 3 across the plate. It appears again the Mets will intentionally walk Johnny Bench. The way Bench has been going, it makes good sense. The last 10 days, he's been the hottest hitter in baseball. Crowd does not like to see Bench get the intentional walk. In the last 7 ball games, Johnny Bench has hit 8 home runs. He's now tied for the Major League lead with Dave Kingman of the Giants. So, for the 2nd time tonight, Tony Perez, the first baseman, is up with the bases loaded and 1 man away. He doubled 3 runs in the 1st inning. Since then has bounced to short and flied to very deep center field. 1 man down, the infield is straight away and deep at double play depth. Tommy Agee 2 strides toward right center. The pitch by Gentry. Fastball just outside. Gentry and Perez had a tremendous duel in the 1st inning. Gentry threw 7 fastballs in a row. Then a curveball that was hit foul in the seats. On the 9th pitch, he came back with a fastball, and Perez doubled. The 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss at a high hard one. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's all over in Philadelphia. The Phillies have snapped their 9-game losing streak. With Steve Carlton on the mound and Darrell Brandon relieving in the 8th inning, the Phillies defeated the Astros 3-1. Fouled upstairs, no play. Losing pitcher, Jerry Royce. The Phillies have lost 9 straight, 19 of their last 20. Their only win had been in Pittsburgh. But the losing streak is over. The Phillies have beaten Houston 3-1. Gentry with the bases loaded, 1 down. And a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on right-hand slugger Tony Perez. Curve outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 years ago, when the Reds won in the West, Perez had a super year. Gil Hodges considered him the best right-hand batter in the National League at the time. Now Jerry Grote setting up the low target. The 2-2 pitch. Low, outside, ball 3. Now something will have to give. Pete Rose on third, Bobby Tolan on second, Johnny Bench on first. 1 man away, and the count is 3-2 on Tony Perez. Gentry is into the windup. Now the pitch. Ground ball punched down to first base. Leon runs to the bag at first, makes the play, and is run into accidentally by Perez and knocked out. Leon thought about a play at the plate and then thought better of it. Then he ran to the bag, and as he did so, he collided with Tony Perez. Leon is playing a new position. Generally, you would have thought he would have either thrown home or thrown to second base. So I give Perez an RBI, his 4th of the ball game. The Reds lead 6-2, and the batter is Cesar Geronimo. He replaced Joe Haig in right field. Runners on second and third, 2 men down. Geronimo, formerly with the Astros, is a left-hand hitter. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bobby Tolan on third and Johnny Bench on second. The Reds now with a 4-run lead. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Geronimo came over to Cincinnati last winter in that big trade. The principal figure was Lee May. Now the 2-strike delivery. Strike 3 call, side retire. For Gentry, strikeout number 5. Gary did a good job with the bases loaded. 1 run, there were 2 hits. No errors, 2 were left on. At the end of 6.5 innings, the Cincinnati Reds 6, the New York Mets 2. Manager Yogi Berra is sending up Dave Marshall to bat for Gary Gentry in the last of the 7th inning. The Mets will have a new pitcher in the ball game in the top of the 8th. Dave Marshall, left-handed batting outfielder. Dave looking for his first hit of the season. He has been up 9 times, gone 0 for 9, and he takes ball 1. Jim McGlothan now working with a 4-run lead. The Husky right-hander deals inside at the letters, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Ray Sadecki, a left-hander, Danny Priscilla, a right-hander warming up. Swing and a miss and a curveball, 2-1. Final game of the series is a day game tomorrow afternoon at 2:05. Tom Seaver bids for his 9th. The 2-1 pitch, high and away, 3-1. Mets trailing by 4 in need of a big inning as they bat against McGlothan, last of the 7th inning. They need now to come charging up the hill. 3-1 delivery, swing and a miss. 3-2 on Dave Marshall. Buddy Harrelson on deck, then Jim Fregosi. The infield infield and the outfield shaded around to right. 3-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Marshall struck out. Fourth strikeout for Jim McGlaughlin. Now the top of the New York Mets batting order for Bud Harrelson. Bud walked and scored in the first. Since then has bounced back to the mound, bounced out to second. Fastball, strike 1 call. In close at third, Julian Javier. Buddy Harrelson, a skillful bunter, and you cannot play back on him. And a smash on the ground through the hole into left field, a base hit. Buddy threading a needle with that. Only about 10 yards between the third baseman and shortstop, and he punched it through there. Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner. Jim Fregosi is the hitter. And he looks at a fastball down the middle, strike 1 call. Fregosi has 2 for 3. Single to right on a hit and run play in the first inning. Bounced out in the third, but doubled to left center in the 5th inning. And a foul back to the screen, strike 2. Sparky Anderson puts in a call now to his bullpen. Left-hander Tom Hall, who pitched for Minnesota last year, starts loosening up. Now the pitch on the way to Fregosi and a base hit to right field. Buddy Harrelson turns second. He's on his way to third. Geronimo is throwing to third. It's cut off. Runners at first and third. Fregosi has his 3rd hit of the game. Jim Fregosi, breaking out of a batting slump, has 3 hits tonight. Tommy Agee doubled in the first inning. Tommy has 1 for 3. Tony Paris takes time out. He goes to the mound now, and Johnny Bench will join in. Agee coming up with Staub on deck, and then Milner, and then Jones. McGlaughlin looking around, checks the defense. 1 man away, runners at first and third. Reds deploy the infield at double play duck. The pitch by McGlaughlin, curve, breaks over the outside corner. Ball, strike 1 to Tommy Agee. Cincinnati outfield is deep against Tommy, who has power. Bobby Tolan shades to left center. And the pitch by McGlaughlin. Fastball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He threw him a curveball outside and came back with a fastball inside. Mets need 4 to get even. They're behind 6-2 in the 7th inning. Now the pitch on the way. Foul ball back. No play. Friedman comes up with it. His first of the year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the pitch on the way by McGlaughlin. Ground ball hit toward shortstop. Concepcion to Morgan and on to first. Safe. And a run is in. Very close play at first base. Tommy Agee going all out. Broke up the double play. In for Agee, his 2nd of the game. It is now 6-3. Tommy with 25 RBIs on the year. Rusty Staub, the team leader, has 30. And Rusty steps in to try his hand. Staub drove in a run in the first inning with a sacrifice fly. Since then has gone 0 for 2. Curveball stays outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Don Milner lashing a couple of bats around in the on-deck circle. Low and outside, 2-0. Now the 2-0 delivery. Fastball outside, ball 3. A walk to Staub would bring Milner as the tying run to the plate. Sparky Anderson has Tom Hall, a skillful left-hander, loosening in his bullpen. The 3-0 pitch and a strike call, 3-1. Jim McLaughlin looking in to get his sign. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Staub holds up. It's outside, ball 4. Milner will come to the plate with 2 men off. Manager Sparky Anderson of Cincinnati will walk to the mound. He looks toward his bullpen as he takes the stroll. And this is going to be it for Jim McLaughlin. And the left-hander, Tom Hall, will come in the ballgame. With Milner, a very dangerous left-hand batter. Due to step in, Sparky says, that's it. I want a fresh pitcher in the ballgame, and I want to play the percentages and bring the left-hander in. McLaughlin leaves the scene of the 7th inning with 2 men down. He has pitched 6 2/3 innings. At the moment has allowed 3 runs, 7 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 4. Been a busy relief pitcher at Cincinnati this year. He has already been in 18 ball games. Hall has won 3 and lost 1 in relief. With the Minnesota Twins last year, he was 4-7. And before this year, his lifetime record in the major leagues was 25 wins and 20 losses. This will be the first time the Mets have hit against Tom Hall in regular season play. It's all over at Jerry Park. Montreal defeated the Atlanta Braves 5-2. Big Mike Torres won his 5th game of the year against 3 losses. Losing pitcher Phil Niekro. Niekro now has won 7 and lost 5. Tom Hall. This last winter, Minnesota and Cincinnati exchanged relief aces. Cincinnati needed a left-hander to go along with Clay Carroll. They had 2 good right-handers in their bullpen, Clay Carroll and Wayne Granger. They traded Wayne Granger to the Minnesota Twins to get Tom Hall. Still a young pitcher, 24 years old. He strikes out a lot of batters. Last year in 130 innings, he fanned 137 hitters. So Hall is ready to go to work. Left-hander against left-hander. Milner is the batter, 2 men on. Here's the pitch on the way. Curve, outside, ball 1. Milner is 0 for 3 tonight. Tom Hall has an ERA of 2.85. In 40 innings, he's allowed only 18 base hits. The 1-0 delivery. bounced foul behind the plate. The ball struck the plate and bounced straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. That is quite a ratio. 40 innings, only 18 hits allowed. Tom Hall, slender left-hander, getting his sign. The 1-1 pitch, fouled off. Back upstairs off Milner's bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Milner is the tying run at bat. Last of the 7th inning. The Reds lead 6-3. Leon Jones on deck. Now the pitch by Hall. Fastball just high. Very close to take, and the count is even at 2-2. Looks in the bench. The runners lead from first and second. The 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Hall strikes out Milner, and the side is retired. 1 run. 2 hits. No errors. 2 left on. At the end of 7 at Shea Stadium, the Cincinnati Reds 6, the New York Mets 3. Baseball buggy makes the drive in from the bullpen in right field to bring Ray Sadecki into the ball game. Sadecki appearing for only the 7th time this year. Ray has started twice, relieved on 4 occasions, has won 1 and lost none. In 13 innings, Ray has given up 17 hits. He'll be facing the bottom third of the Cincinnati batting order. Mets and the Reds play the final game of the series tomorrow afternoon. The Astros will be here Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. So if you're going to be here over the weekend, be sure as you come through the turnstiles to stop by one of the big all-star ballot boxes and pick up your ballot. The fans across the country again this year will be selecting the starting lineups for baseball's Midsummer Classic in Atlanta on July the 25th. If it's easier to pick up your ballot, put it in your pocket, and fill it in later, the instructions are printed on the ballot for those wishing to mail in their votes. This is the first game Ray has been in since May the 26th when he relieved in St. Louis. Julian Javier is up to lead off the 8th inning, and a fastball swung on and missed, strike 1.
7 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Gary Gentry worked 7 innings, allowed 6 runs, 8 hits. Walked 4, struck out 5. Sadecki over the head, around comes the arm. Bunt attempt by Javier is missed, and the count strike 2.
The Boston pitching line, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned.
This afternoon at St. Louis blank San Francisco. 6-0. Reggie Cleveland pitched a 5-hit shutout. Tonight the Phillies ended a 9-game losing streak, beating Houston 3-1. Carlton the winner. And Montreal beat Atlanta 5-2 behind Big Mike Torres. Hit in the air to center field. Agee scooting back turns, makes the catch. Javier retired, 1 down.
Shortstop, number 13.
After 3.5 innings, the Pirates lead San Diego 5-2. Willie Stargell and Dave Cash have hit home runs for the Pirates. Nate Colbert, number 11 for San Diego. That's the first game of a doubleheader. And Dave Concepcion takes strike 1 call. Later tonight, the Cubs and the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. High outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankees 7, the Texas Rangers 5. They played 5 innings in Texas. Sadecki winding. And the 1-1 pitch is on the inside corner, a curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baltimore ended a 5-game loss string. They beat Minnesota tonight 11-2 behind Pat Dobson. High outside, it's 2-2. first place, Oakland in the American League West leads Cleveland 10-4 in the ninth inning. California got 4 runs in the fifth inning. The Angels lead the Tigers 4-0. Bouncing ball to short. The hop snagged by Harrelson, and the throw is in plenty of time to Cleon Jones. With 2 outs and nobody on, relief pitcher Tom Hall will come to bat. Milwaukee 3, Kansas City 2 at the end of 6. Two outs, nobody on. Sadecki's pitched to Hall, and he thinks about bunting and misses. Strike 1. This homestand will wind up with the Sunday afternoon game. Let's go on the road to play Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Houston. Swing and a miss, a wild swing and a curveball, and the count is strike 2. Jerry Koosman getting up in the New York bullpen. Koosman has been pitching superbly in relief. He might very well be back in the starting rotation soon. Curve, a strike, side retire. Sadecki getting the Reds 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 7.5 innings, the Cincinnati Reds 6, the New York Mets 3. Well, we'd like to remind you, as you get set to attend a ball game this weekend here at Shea Stadium, that if you'll stop by the concession stands, the 1972 Met Yearbook is on sale. 64 pages, 32 pages in rich color. And in the centerfold, a 2-page color team picture that is suitable for framing. There's also a 3-page photo layout covering the career of Yogi Berra, his climb from the sandlots of St. Louis to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Other full-color pictures suitable for framing of Gil Hodges, Tom Seaver, Tommy Agee, Bud Harrelson, Cleon Jones, and Rusty Staub, and many others. If it's easier to get your copy by mail, simply send in $1 to Met Yearbook Department, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. The zip code is 11368. We'll have a change at third base. Dennis Menke, the regular third baseman who's been out with a bad leg, takes over, replacing Julian Javier. Cleon Jones, 2 hits and 3 times at bat. First hitter up against lefty Tom Hall in the last of the 8th. And a ground ball right back to the mound. Easy play for Hall. He throws on to Tony Perez, 1 down on 1 pitch. Looks like the Reds have quite a bullpen with right-hander Clay Carroll and left-hander Tom Hall. Teddy Martinez is coming out. He's going to bat for Wayne Garrett. With a left-hander in the game, Yogi goes platoon, sending up a right-hand hitter.
Please, 41, batting for Garrett. Number 17, Ted Martinez. Number 17.
Ted Martinez batting for Wayne Garrett. Now Tom Hall getting his sign from Johnny Bench. Fastball, strike 1 call. Last night, Tug McGraw saved a game for the Mets coming out of the bullpen, his 9th save. He was the 17th save for the Mets bullpen. And a half swing, a fastball over, strike 2. Now, if Tom Hall saves tonight for the Reds, then the Reds bullpen will have chalked up 17 saves. So these two real good ball clubs both have an excellent bullpen. The Mets with McGraw and Frisella, the Reds with Clay Carroll and Tom Hall. The 2-strike delivery way outside 1 and 2. The 1-2 delivery to Martinez, strike 3 called. Well, Tom Hall gets rid of Teddy Martinez via the strikeout route. He has fanned 2 of 3 to face him. This thin left-hander with a good curveball and a popping fastball strikes out a lot of batters. has he ever. In 40 innings this year, he has 49 strikeouts. High pop foul over toward the crowd. Over is Tony Perez, no play. Tried to lean over the railing and get a play on the ball, but it was out of his reach. Interesting thing about Tom Hall, he's a relief pitcher, and he leads the Cincinnati staff in strikeouts. Wonder where else that would be true. He did start 2 ball games. Next pitch to Grote. Fastball, misses outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Reds 6 and the Mets 3. Last of the 8th. Delivery by the left-hander. On the outside edge, a strike, 1 and 2. Ray Sadecki is scheduled to hit next. And a fastball that's high, 2 and 2. Jerry Koosman is loosening up out in the bullpen, so is Danny Priscilla. Yogi would have to put up a pinch hitter if Jerry Grote delivers a base hit. The 2-2 delivery, and it's high, ball 3, 3 and 2. The infield straight away against Jerry. Now the payoff pitch, swung on and missed. He got him with a curveball. He threw quite a curveball on 3 and 2, his 3rd strikeout. Hall has fanned 3 of the 4 to face him. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 8 innings at Shea, the Reds 6 and the Mets 3.
Your attention, please. 40 yards now playing second base.
Ted Martinez will be at second base in the 9th inning.
Number 17.
Ray Sadecki will be pitching to Pete Rose. Rose has 2 for 4.
Number 14.
The Oakland A's have now won 6 in a row. They beat Cleveland tonight by a score of 10-4. Kenny Holtzman went all the way. He gave up 14 hits. But he won his 9th game of the year against 3 losses. He was working with a big lead almost throughout the game. And the pitch is taken low, ball 1. Well, the Oakland A's are beginning to flex their muscles in the Western Division. 1 ball, 1 strike. Baltimore beat Minnesota. Two and 1 on Pete Rose. So the A's now have a 5-game lead in the Western Division of the American League. The 2-1 pitch by Ray Sadecki. Outside, 3 and 1 to Pete Rose. Ray Sadecki working in back of Gary Gentry. 3-1 delivery. Hit in the air over toward the right field line. Stop running full speed. Makes the catch near the line. Rusty arriving just in time to haul it in.
Second baseman, Joe Morgan. Number 8.
In the last of the 4th inning at San Diego, Nelson Briles has been knocked out of the box. Bob Johnson has come in. When the Padres came in to hit in the last of the 4th inning, they were trailing Pittsburgh 5-2. Joe Morgan up against Ray Sadecki, tries to drag a bunt, and it is foul. Morgan reached on a walk, scored a run in the first. Otherwise is 0 for 3. The outfield around to right. Around comes the arm, and the hook gets the outside corner, bending away from the left-hand batter, strike 2. Bobby Tolan on deck. Tolan's had 3 hits. For the Mets, Jim Fregosi has had 3. That just missed the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mets gained a half game last night by winning while the Pirates were idle. High pop-up on the left side of the diamond. Easy play for Bud Harrelson. Near second, he takes it. And that's 5 in a row set down by Sadecki. Ray Sadecki into his windup. His pitch to Bobby Tolan, but foul coming straight back. He was trying to push that one up the third base line. Bobby Tolan, a single and two doubles. His two doubles have been bloops down the left field line. He was jammed, but got enough bat handle on it to loop it over the head of Fregosi and on down the line for a two-base hit. So Bobby Tolan has raised his batting average to .326. Curve, a call strike. Funny how this game goes. The two doubles by Tolan were not hit well. Then he hit a line drive 360 feet off the fence and was held to a single because he hit it so hard. The two-strike pitch, ground ball slowly hit down the first base line, moving in as Cleon, and it goes foul at the last moment. Bobby Tolan running it out. He'll return to the plate now. With a count of 2 strikes, we're in the top of the 9th. Reds won 7 in a row on this road trip before losing last night. They've won 19 of their last 25 ball games. They start the evening tied with Houston, a game and a half behind the Dodgers. Sadecki getting his sign from Grody. The veteran left-hander's pitch on the way. A smash to second. Martinez has it. Plenty of time. Throws to Cleon. Side retired. So Ray Sadecki in relief retired 6 in a row. In the 9th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 8.5 innings, Cincinnati 6, New York 3. Last of the 9th inning, Yogi Berra putting Jim Beecham up now to bat for Ray Sadecki. Jim Beecham delivered as a pinch hitter last night and later scored the winning run on a base hit by Tommy Agee in the 7th inning. Pitch by Hall, well hit in the air to left, but playable. Back is Rose on the warning track. He has it. Beecham again going after the first pitch, which is a very fine thing for a pinch hitter to do. He goes up there thinking positive and ready to go to work. Rose caught that drive right on the warning track. First ball that's been hit hard off Tom Hall since he came on. And Buddy Harrelson is up. Bud has 1 for 3 and a walk. Buddy has scored twice tonight. Now has scored 25 runs this year. Taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. In relief, Tom Hall has retired 5 in a row. The 1-0 delivery. Fastball over the corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jim Fregosi, who's led the Mets attack, is the on-deck batter. Jim has 3 for 4. High, outside, 2-1. Tomorrow afternoon, Tom Seaver, 8-2, will be opposed by Ross Grimsley. And it's high and away to Buddy Harrelson, 3-1. Ross Grimsley has won 2 and lost 1. He has an excellent earned run average of 2.0. 3-1 pitch and a strike at the knees. It's 3-2. Ross Grimsley, young left-hander, won 10 for the Reds last year, lost 7. 2 high, ball 4. Buddy Harrelson is on base for the 3rd time. And the first base runner since Tom Hall came in to relieve. Jim Fregosi, 2 singles and a double, 3 for 4, raising his average to 253. He's looking over the left-hander, Tom Hall. It's over for a strike. Fregosi hit against Tom Hall a great deal while he was in the American League playing for the Angels, and Hall was pitching for Minnesota. Now the pitch. Inside and low, one-handed by John Bench. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the stretch by Hall. And the pitch on the way, a fastball high, 2-1. If Fregosi could get on, it would bring up Tommy Agee representing the tying run. The 2-1 delivery, and he checked his swing, and it missed outside. It's 3 balls and a strike. Now Sparky Anderson has talked to his bullpen, and his right-handed relief ace, Clay Carroll, is warming up. The count is 3-1, and the pitch. Strike called, 3-2. Tommy Agee on deck, and then Rusty Staub. Agee and Staub have been the best hitters on the ball club against left-handed pitching. Bud Harrelson on first base, 1 man out. Now Hall into the set position, delivers. And a ground ball hit the shortstop. Concepcion to his right. Throws to second, force play on Harrelson. No chance to get 2. Concepcion had to flash to his right, going over in the hole to come up with the ground ball. And the Mets are reduced to their final out, trailing by 3. Tommy Agee has 1 hit and 4 times up. Tommy has driven in 2 of the 3 runs scored by the Mets today. Tommy has 25 RBIs, second on the ball club to Rusty Staub's 30. Crowd lingering around the exits. Tom Hall checks the runner. Here's the pitch to Agee. High, outside, it's ball 1. In this spot, Agee is only concerned with getting himself on base somehow. If he could get on, it then would bring the tying run up. And the on-deck batter is Rusty Staub. The left-hander, Tom Hall, delivers. Swing and a miss and a curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnny Bench providing a low target. And it's over. A beautiful fastball on the corner at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tom Hall, in relief, has not allowed a base hit. Pittsburgh leading San Diego now 5-4 in the 5th inning. The 1-2 pitch. And a ground ball hit to third base. Menke has it, throws to Morgan, and the Reds win it. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. The final score, the Cincinnati Reds 6, the New York Mets 3. We'll be back with a recap in just a minute. A lot of the action in tonight's game came in the first inning. 5 runs crossed the plate in the first inning of the game, and over the last 8, only 4 runs were scored. With Gary Gentry on the mound in the first inning with 1 out, he walked Joe Morgan. He jammed Bobby Tolan, who hit one right on the left field line for a double. The Mets elected to walk Johnny Bench to load the bases and try for 2, plus the fact that Bench has been so red hot. Then came a tremendous duel between Gentry and Tony Perez. The duel lasted for 9 pitches. The first 7 were fastballs. A curveball was hit foul. Then came the 9th one, a fastball. And Tony Perez doubled to deep right center, driving 3 runs across the plate. Gentry then got the side out. New York got right back into the ball game in the last of the first. Harrelson walked. Fregosi singled. Agee doubled a run in. And Staub knocked a run in with a sacrifice fly. So at the end of 1 inning, this was a 3-2 ball game. In the 4th inning, Cincinnati picked up another run. Sparky Anderson played for the 1 run. With 1 out and 1 on, he had his pitcher McLaughlin bunt, moving Concepcion over to second, setting it up for Pete Rose. And Rose delivered the timely 2-out single, and the score was 4-1. The next Cincinnati run came on a home run by Joe Haig. That was in the 6th inning. And the final Cincinnati run crossed the plate at the 7th inning. And it was driven in by Tony Perez on a ground out. So Tony Perez had 4 RBIs. Rose and Haig each had 1. The Mets scored the 2 runs in the first inning, and their final run of the night was driven in by Tommy Agee. So Tommy drove in 2, and Rusty Staub drove in 1. Good relief pitching for both teams. Ray Savecki, in back of Gary Gentry, worked 2 innings, retired 6 in a row. And Tom Hall, who gets a save, worked 2 1/3, allowed no runs and no base hits. The playing time of the game, 2 hours and 29 minutes. The paid crowd, 35,995. Cincinnati 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 6 left. New York 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 9 left. McLaughlin, the winner, is 3 and 4. Gentry, the loser, is 3 and 4. Game time tomorrow, 2:05. Tom Seaver, 8 and 2, and Ross Grimsley, 2 and 1. Hope you can make it. Be with us tomorrow at 2 p.m. when the Mets meet the Cincinnati Reds. The final score again: the Cincinnati Reds 6 and the New York Mets 3.
Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets.